Coach, or you want to go straight to questions?
No, I'll say something first. I just like to. I think in moments like this, you should always start with gratitude, and I'm very, very, very grateful to Troy Dannon, to President Gold, to the board for their confidence in me, and us, our staff. Very grateful to my wife and kids who allowed me to do this job and moved here. Very grateful to the fan base. I'm very grateful to the city of Lincoln and the state of Nebraska. This has become our home, and we love it here. And most importantly, I'm grateful for our players. I was at a point 3 years ago when they hired me here where I'd gone through something hard, and I know people sometimes think, well, you're well compensated for it, but I can just tell you, those things can break people. And I've rediscovered my love of this game and coaching and all that with these guys that are here. And so, as this process went on, I think I was really honest with you guys the first day. We've wanted to be here, and we expect to be here for a long time. And we have much, much, much more to do. And we're not pleased with where we are, but we are pleased with the direction we're headed. And I think that's hopefully a message that we can send to all of the recruits, all the players, that this is the place to be, and we want to be here. So, with that, I'll answer any questions you have.
I saw you had a quote about alignment here. Just how big a deal is that? Just the alignment you feel is in place at the university.
I don't think you can do anything without great alignment. And you have to think about when I got here, like I came here thinking like, wow, we have great alignment. It was like, hey, the president, the chancellor, the AD, and then they all were gone. And, the great thing about this for me is, when you're a head coach and they bring in another athletic director, he didn't hire you. And so for Troy to come to me with this, I think he started talking to me like at week 3 and really maybe just say, hey, let's talk about this. Let you know that you're his coach, and the same way with Dr. Gold. I mean, lots of people, they're there for those good moments. After we lost to Minnesota, Dr. Gold, as I'm walking off the field, runs up to me, shakes my hand, and says, he came in the locker room. I mean, you don't find that very many places. And so for me, I know everyone wants to win, but usually people have different ideas of how to do it. And everyone wants to win until it gets really hard. And then people have a tendency to back away. And what we have here is we have people that are willing to do the hard things and invest. I think from the very first day I got here, it was like, hey, I know the optics are going to be, why are you hiring this many people? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But you can't live in optics. I mean, you have to live in, hey, college football's changing, and this has been do or die time for universities. And the alignment we have and the willingness to invest in the program, to invest in the facilities. And I think you're seeing a great time in the Husker athletics. Like, I couldn't imagine telling my daughters, like, hey, guess what? We're not going to go to the Husker women's volleyball games because we're going to take another. Like, they would be like, what? That we told them last night, like, hey, it wasn't signed till. I know some people put some things out yesterday and it wasn't true, and I was hoping to get to today and have it be done. And my daughter's like, oh, that's cool. Can you get us 4 tickets to the Husker volleyball game on Sunday? Like, just what a unparalleled. I mean, it maybe happened before, but I've never been a part of so much athletic excellence. To see wrestling, I can't wait to watch basketball. I can't wait to baseball and golf. So just to be a small part of that, but that comes from the top. That comes from the board. That comes from the president, and that certainly comes from Troy and his team.
I'm sure you might have been a candidate for many jobs in theory, but obviously it's natural that Penn State, when that opened up, you would have been one for that. Was there a moment of just reflection there, and why ultimately do you feel like this is a better job than that job?
I won't speak on any other jobs, and just out of respect for everybody else. And all I'll say is, as I said to you guys that one day, this has happened every year where someone's called, right? Like, and so, but this is our home. Like, we love living here. I just can't say that enough, right? Like, I just, at the end of the day, it's football's football. Like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get in my car at whatever time in the morning, come in and work, and then drive home. My kids are going to go to school. They're going to be in the community. My wife's going to run her business. My wife's going to be out in the community. And like sometimes Julie goes into the office on Sunday after we beat Northwestern, but she also went in the office in her business on Sunday after Minnesota. And people have just absolutely welcomed us and embraced us. And I mean, my goal is to win enough games here that someday I can retire here and people, are nice to me in the gas station. I was that guy. Oh, here he is again. No, that's all I've ever wanted. And so I see the peak. Like I go out to practice yesterday, and Coach Darlington. So it was so cold on Tuesday, and everyone's standing watching practice inside the doors. So I said, close the doors. If you want to be at practice, you got to stand outside. I look out there yesterday. It was one of the coldest days I've ever coached, and I coach in shorts every day, right? George Darlington is sitting in a chair outside the closed door. I said, guys, open the door for Coach Darlington, please. But think about the life he's lived, right? And I know he left for a little bit and came back, and so it's just home. And so for me, it wasn't about necessarily even the job. And I'll just tell you, Sam, I've left too many teams. I've left too many players, and the players always understood, and they were always grateful to me. I could not leave these guys. I love this team, and I love this group, and I love where we're headed. I love the recruits. Every recruit that called me when my name started, I said, I'm not going anywhere. There's been no so this was before, and I think people minimize like that woman right there. Like she's moved all over creation for me, and she's done everything for me. Like she loves it here. My kids love it here. I love it here. So,
what was it about the timing today, this moment, that made it the right time?
That's really, Troy and them. I mean, they've been, like I said, I have a representative, and they kind of handle all those things. My thing was, hey, whenever it's done, I want to sign it. I want to do it. I don't want our team being like, I know Coach says he's here, but I don't want I want to send a message to the recruits. I want to send a message to our players. Sometimes people go other places, and then they're like, oh, I can't tell you coaches that have left have called me and said, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have left. So it's just I wanted to get it over with and done with, and but this didn't start 2 weeks ago. This was kind of they started talking to me about this weeks and weeks and earlier, and from the whole time it's always been we want to be there. That's it. I want to give this team everything I have and not be distracted with anything else. So when they were able to get it done, we were able to get it done.
Matt, a couple weeks ago you talked about the investment that you want to see from Nebraska. What have you seen since that, and what's your continued hope about investment into the roster or other matters?
Yeah, since the day that Troy got here, there's nothing that he hasn't done, and I just think that was an opportunity for me to make sure everybody out there knows, hey, this is the future of college football, and I want us to be just at the forefront. So it's more philosophical. Not like they came to me and say, hey, we're going to do this. They've already been doing those. Hey, we're going to do this, and this. I just think I think when you look at our legacy and our history at Nebraska, who we are, that we're the first to do so many things. And so that was an opportunity. This isn't oh, hey, the contract goes to what years? 2032? The chances I'm alive in 2032, honestly. So it's the 2 years I appreciate. This is about the program. And it's about stability, and it's about investing, and so Troy's been amazing. Dr. Gold's been amazing. The board, there's things that have to be done, and these are really, really uncertain times. I'm signing a contract extension today, and I know that there's people that are cold and hungry, right? And so, we understand how hard some of this is. At the same time, Nebraska football needs stability. They need investment, and they've been doing it nonstop. So I'm grateful.
Can you confirm if you have signed or will be signing?
I signed this morning. Yep. I literally sat there and just kept hitting refresh on because you don't want to sign anymore. You DocuSign. I kept refresh. Did you change your mind? refresh. So.
Have you spoken to the players since you signed?
I told them out here. Yeah. I was really disappointed last night that some reports came out that were wrong because, I wanted to be the one to tell the players. You know what I mean? I feel like I've earned that right. I wanted Julie to be there. All week I've been sharing times in my life that seemed dark and then the good things that came out of it. And so I read to them today like a little journal I did when I got fired, and looking at my daughter, and just how in the midst of dark moments, right? If you great moments will come, and so this is a great moment for us, and I wanted to share that with the players, and I'm glad I got to, that they're just a great group.
How did they react?
Congrats. They just congrats. I might have gotten just a little bit emotional, so some of them called me some choice words, but I hope they're happy.
When you did talk about the investment stuff, what is it going to take to compete they're going to have a salary escalator related to college football playoffs. So the design is to make the CFP each year. How close do you feel like you guys are to competing at that level, not just from an on the field perspective, but the program?
Yeah, I always believe, champions behave like champions before they're champions. They have a winning standard of performance. That's Bill Walsh. And so, like so often, I remember when I was back at Temple and it was like, well, should we build a stadium on campus, not build a stadium on campus? It's like, well, if we can get in the ACC, then we'll build the stadium. Well, you got to do this to do this, right? And so it's hard to invest when like you're in dreary times, right? So I feel like we have everything now in place to move forward, right? I think we have an amazing coaching staff. We have the build, like you think about it, this 2026 class and early 2027, this is the first recruiting class that didn't have to wear hard hats at some point to walk through the building. Like, so I know everyone's like, oh, you have a great building, but like we unveiled it really this summer to most people. Like the 7-on-7, that was the first time people really saw it. So now all of a sudden you're starting to, like you see our 2027 class is going to be killer. And it's like, yeah, because they've seen this now. They've been raised in it. So I think we're poised to go compete at the highest levels. And the thing is, the mark's going to keep changing, Sam. Like everything, the rules are going to change. Everything's going to change. And it's just going to be like, it's my belief in Troy, my belief in his vision and Haven's vision and all the people that I work with, that no matter what as the mark moves, that we'll keep being the ones trying to chase it, not waiting to see how everybody else chases it and then say, okay, let's go do it. I would be remiss if I didn't take this time to thank Tom and Sean Peed, because I just, if they don't do 1890 when they did, and if they don't invest, and and then the people that work for them, Joe Seelig, Matt Davis, and all those guys, like if they don't do what they did, we're dead. I mean, we're sitting here at 6-2 with a cool game on Saturday, like because of a lot of people, but certainly because of them. And so, you chase that, and you have people like that stepping in, and so I just think it's more about like where's the mark move. But I feel like we're really well positioned right now. And that's why, this extension hopefully tells recruits that, like, hey, you don't have to worry about it. Like, we could have gone somewhere else probably, and we want to be here. Not like, hey, all right, we got to be here. We want to be here. And so.
How's the week of practice gone in general, preparing for USC?
It's been a great week. It's been freezing cold, and we've been outside the whole time. And the guys have attacked it and embraced it. Sometimes I think people think like, well, coach, you're from the north. You're not. We're all just this cold, but the guys have shown toughness and resilience, and they've worked on their fundamentals and techniques. As you get late in the year, there's a great guy. If you guys don't follow Coach Dan Casey on Twitter, you should. He's one of the best people in terms of football follows. And he had a great thing about reteaching scheme, reteaching fundamentals. Like, I keep talking to our guys about don't let the creep come in of like, you're just used to be like this low and now you're a little bit higher because you're tired late in the year. And I feel like the guys have embraced this week of just getting back to fundamentals. You're playing a team this week coming off a bye, so you're a little banged up. They're fresh. You better be dialed in, and they've been dialed in all week.
You touched on it a little bit today, but what is your relationship like with Dr. Gold?
My relationship with Dr. Gold has been amazing. I mean, he's always there. He's always supportive. It meant a lot to me that he would be there. Like I said, that it's one thing to be there in the good times, but also be there when you're struggling. That's when you really find out about people. And he's been awesome. Troy probably has more day-to-day, obviously, interactions with him, but he's a guy that when I see him, I love being around him. I love being around his wife. I love being around his son and daughter. Like, they treat my family great. And but I'll be honest with you, I haven't met a bad person since I've been here in this state. So I've just had an amazing experience. But Dr. Gold's been absolutely awesome.
You mentioned being banged up. Are there any specific updates there? And I guess at right tackle, would Corcoran be first up probably?
Yeah, Turner will play right tackle this week. Pritchett will play left. Other than that, I think we're healthy.
You mentioned the 27 recruiting class and momentum that you're building. I mean, this weekend, what kind of an opportunity is this for kind of continuing that build?
Yeah, I mean, and for me, my focus is on 2026s. My focus is on 20. We're still trying to go get some more guys in 26. We're trying to get some 2027s. We're trying to get some 2028s. It's a night game. There'll be all kinds of guys that end up in the portal that watch this. There's going to be kids that are in 7th grade that see this game and say like, oh, you know what? That's a cool place. And so, it's a awesome week to show off everything that we have here. I think it's an awesome week for students in general. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you not come? Why would you not come to the University of Nebraska from wherever you live? It's safe, it's cheap, it's easy living, it's awesome. There's cool things happening on campus. Like, oh, by the way, you can go watch a great football game with 90,000 other people, and then go over and watch an amazing volleyball game if you can get tickets to it. And then I still don't have 4 tickets for Sunday. That's how good they are. You know what I mean? Like, I got extension, I got all these things. I don't have 4 tickets for Sunday, and no one send me tickets. I'll get them. I'm just joking. Like, that's how good they are, right? So I mean, so I just think it's a great moment to show off our university. But you better play well too. But I think all the stuff like the crowd and all that stuff, I don't know that people have recognized what it is. Like, I didn't recognize what it was till I got here, and so now it's like, hey, let's show it off.
Matt, you talked about it earlier. You also joked that Julie picks where you guys live. How critical was that component?
She's mad at me with that. I didn't. So I'm sorry. Answer your question. How critical?
How critical was that component that your family was in on this too?
Yeah. I'm a father first before I'm a coach, and Bryant. I talk a lot about my wife and my daughters, but my son moved a lot, and it's not like he doesn't have like this huge friend group of guys you all grew up together with, right? He's got a friend here and a friend here and a friend here and a friend here, and so. Like I'll walk out there on Saturday and my son will be on the sideline working, handing out iPads to guys, and my father will be over there. My wife and daughters, my mom, and we'll be upstairs. It's grateful. It's an amazing moment. So, but yeah, I mean, like, they love it here. I mean, like, they did not. There was not a lot of talk about, hey, what should we do here? Just on the same page. Thank you guys.